When dazzling streaks of light flash across a dark sky during a rainy day, accompanied by thunder, it is known as lightning. Sometimes sparks are generated on an electric pole when wires become loose. This phenomena is quite common when a strong wind is blowing and shaking the wire.
The story of lightning. In 1752, Benjamin Franklin observed a miraculous phenomenon when he was flying a kite during lightning and thunderstorm. He attached the kite to a silk string and tied an iron key at the other end. He tied a thin metal wire from the key and inserted it into a leaden jar, a jar used for storing electric charge. He attached a silk ribbon to the key. Benjamin flew the kite by holding onto the silk ribbon. After some time, when he brought his knuckles near the key, he saw an electric spark between the key and his knuckles. Electricity from the clouds passed through the string to the keys, his knuckles, and finally to the earth. Franklin's experiment showed that lightning was static electricity.
Lightning occurs when there is a charge separation in the cloud. As a thunderstorm grows, electric charges build up within the cloud, with positive charges at the top and negative charges at the bottom. Clouds get electrically charged because of the presence of friction between the wind and the clouds. An American scientist, Benjamin Franklin, showed that clouds have electrical charges.
Negative and positive charges. Take two glass rods and rub them with a piece of silk cloth. Suspend one rod with a silk thread to a stand. Bring the other glass rod near it. You will observe that the suspended glass rod moves away from the other glass rod. Take a glass rod and rub it with silk cloth. Suspend it with a silk thread. Take an ebonite rod and rub it with a piece of fur. Bring this ebonite rod near the suspended charged glass rod. You will observe that the suspended glass rod gets attracted towards the ebonite rod. From the above activity, it is clear that there are two types of charges. Conventionally, the charge acquired by glass rod when it is rubbed with silk is called positive charge. Thus, the charge acquired by ebonite rod when it is rubbed with fur is called negative charge.
When two appropriate substances are rubbed together, the substances get electrified, that is, acquire an electric charge. We can prove this with the help of an activity. Take a comb and rub it on dry hair. Now, bring this comb near bits of paper. You will notice that the comb attracts the bits of paper. Now take a glass rod and rub it on silk cloth. Place glass rod against inflated balloon. You will notice that the balloon sticks to the glass rod. So, we can conclude that the effect of rubbing is to produce a type of force which acts from a distance, and this force can attract as well as repel bodies. It is known as electrostatic force. The comb and the glass rod have acquired electric charge. Thus, such bodies are said to be electrically charged. When two appropriate substances are rubbed together, the substances get electrified, that is, acquire an electric charge. We can prove this with the help of an activity. Take a comb and rub it on dry hair. Now, bring this comb near bits of paper. You will notice that the comb attracts the bits of paper. Now take a glass rod and rub it on silk cloth. Place glass rod against inflated balloon. You will notice that the balloon sticks to the glass rod. So, we can conclude that the effect of rubbing is to produce a type of force which acts from a distance, and this force can attract as well as repel bodies. It is known as electrostatic force. The comb and the glass rod have acquired electric charge. Thus, such bodies are said to be electrically charged.
Take an empty jam bottle, as shown here. Take a piece of cardboard slightly bigger in size than the mouth of the bottle. Pierce a hole in it so that a metal paper clip could be inserted. Hang a paper clip as shown here. Cut 2 strips of aluminium foil about 4 cm by 1 cm each. Hang them on the paper clip. Insert the paper clip in the cardboard lid so that it is perpendicular to it. Charge a refill by rubbing it with silk cloth and touch it with the end of the paper clip. We observe that electrical charge can be transferred from the charged object to another through a metal conductor. Now, touch the end of the paper clip gently with hand and you will find a change in the foil strips. They come back to their original state. This is because the foil strips lose charge to the earth through your body. We can now say that the foil strips are discharged. The process of transferring of charge from a charged object to the earth is called earthing.
Electroscope. Take a gold leaf electroscope. Take a glass rod or plastic scale and rub it with a silk cloth so that it gets positively charged. Bring the charged glass rod or plastic scale near the brass disc of the electroscope and touch it. You will observe that the gold leaves inside the electroscope diverge. This happens because on touching the charged rod with the brass disc, the charge flows from the rod to the gold leaves along the brass rod. Since both the gold leaves carry the same charges, they repel, thus diverge. Next, touch the brass disc with your hand. The gold leaves collapse and come back to their original position. This happens because the gold leaves lose charge to the earth through your body, as the human body is a good conductor. As seen in the above activity, the charge on the leaves goes into the earth through your body. The leaves are then said to be discharged. The process of transfer of charges from a charged body to the earth is called earthing.
When two clouds with unlike charges come very close to each other, a huge spark is produced between the clouds, and this spark is known as lightning. Sparking discharge can occur not only between two clouds but also between a charged cloud and the earth as shown here.
Some safety measures against lightning are given here. An appropriate shelter could be a building or a car with the windows closed. The body of the car acts as a conducting path for the lightning bolt, and thus the person inside the car is safe. It may be ensured that all tall buildings are fitted with metal lightning conductors. This is done to direct lightning harmlessly to the ground. Carrying an umbrella is not safe during thunderstorm. One must stay indoors during a thunderstorm and switch off computers, TV, electric iron, etc. A pointed metal rod is fixed upright on the building. One end of the rod is out in the air and the other is buried deep in the ground. When light strikes, a strong electrical charge is conducted through the metal rod to the earth as shown here. Thus, the building is saved from any damage.